Hi, I'm Taylor, and in this vlog, I'm taking you on a short trip to Toronto, Canada.
Because your time, money, and energy is precious. So I'm going to show you the sights and costs
So you can personally decide whether a Toronto trip would be worth it for you.
Please like and subscribe.
and let's get going.
And we're going on a 4-day trip to Toronto, Canada, which is neither tropical nor exotic, nor is it a destination that screams vacation. So why even visit? For one, it's a major city with interesting sights, and to be honest, it's pretty accessible for Americans by car and plane. So the flight was delayed by 2 hours, but otherwise uneventful. Just arriving now. It's already evening, lost 3 hours, of course. And the only thing to do now is go to the hotel. I'm staying in the downtown Old Toronto area, which is more walkable and accessible than other parts. To get to this part of town, one can easily take the train, the UP Express, which costs about $9 USD to get from the Pearson International Airport to Union Station. Good morning. I started off my trip by overpaying for breakfast.
That aside, this hotel is great because it's located in downtown Toronto and connected to the Path Network, which is a series of tunnels connecting office buildings, the subway, a food court, and many shops. It's basically an underground mall that's functional because you can get to different places.
But seriously, you could spend so much time in the tunnels, as we did. Up next, we're going to take a bus tour because this city is pretty spread out in terms of where the sites are, so that'll be nice. It's also extremely humid right now. It's July, so it'll also be nice to be in a bus. We took a hop-on, hop-off bus tour.
This one was rather pricey at $48 for just under an hour of sightseeing, to points including the CN Tower as a highlight, which we will explore later, but also other smaller sites, which we will soon visit.
And we got off the bus early at the Casa Loma stop.
Established in 1914, Casa Loma is a Gothic Revival-style house museum and garden in Midtown Toronto.
So the tour costs that much, and it's basically just self-guided. You can walk through the castle part, the grounds. There's an audio guide, which is free.
And truly, this attraction is worth the visit. There are 3 full floors of exhibits, as well as an attic and a basement, and this beautiful view from the tower. I was kind of blown away.
Good morning. Today we're going on a day trip to Niagara, and not just Niagara Falls, but the whole area. Also, I will say I was just in Niagara Falls a year ago, and you can see that in my road trip vlog, but we're going to see more than just the falls this time.
The city of Toronto takes its name from a Mohawk word, meaning where there are trees standing in the water, a reference to wooden fishing weirs in the area.
We booked this full day tour, and the first thing was a 2-hour drive to the Niagara Teaching College, which is the only college in the world, by the way, that has a distillery, vineyard, and brewery all within walking distance on the same campus. And there was a wine tasting. The first was a Riesling, which was described as dry, but has, in my opinion, a very wet, fruity taste.
And the second wine that we're trying is a red. I'd say it's really dry. They did say it was dry, but this one actually is dry. The last wine is an ice wine, which is what the Niagara region is famous for. It's a dessert wine. It's really sweet. The grapes are picked in the middle of the winter, December, January, instead of the traditional September, October harvest season. And one big difference is the concentration of wines. So if a normal bottle of wine that's that size has 500 to 600 grapes, this small bottle has about 9,000 grapes. So super concentrated, super sweet, and nice. So next stop is Niagara Falls, Ontario, in contrast to the Niagara Falls, New York, which I was just in a year ago. And I will say this is indeed the more fun side, but we can still see the American Falls from this side. I adore the US of A, but I will say that the Canadian side of Niagara is much more exciting. There are attractions for kids, as well as a casino. And honestly, I think there are just better views from the Canadian side. And the final stop on the tour is Niagara-on-the-Lake, which is a historical little town that looks like this. So this tour could be worth it if you also want to see more than just the falls. I will say one thing I didn't love is that the tickets that we bought did not include the boat tour for the falls, which other people in my group did. Yes, I could have bought a ticket there, but it is also kind of pricey, so that's worth considering as well.
Good morning.
I'm back in the Path tunnels, the underground mall walkway area. It is big, it is extensive, but on the weekend, a lot of the shops are closed. The first thing for today is going to the CN Tower, which you can also access through the Path tunnels. And behold, the CN Tower. Standing at 553 meters tall, the CN Tower was completed in 1976 as a telecommunications tower, but it has since become a major tourist attraction. Visitors can enjoy expansive views of the city and Lake Ontario from its observation decks. Inside the tower is a restaurant, cafe, and, as always, a gift shop. And up next is the Royal Ontario Museum. So I greatly underestimated this museum, but now I'm on the third floor and look at it. It's completely different. So below us was dinosaurs, birds, etc. And now we're getting into the Europe sort of stuff. Also, there is religious art. But my point is, this place is just so different. Each section of the museum is immersive in its own way. And one thing I really enjoyed, and this was just small, was the bat exhibit. You know, I'm not really an animal person, but anytime it kind of looks like a zoo, I love zoos. So I really enjoyed that. I would highly recommend this museum. I head out tomorrow and I have a lot of thoughts on Toronto, but honestly, not all of them are positive. But first, I want to share some tips and recommendations. Consider going to one of the many museums, like these ones. And if you like art museums, I would highly recommend the Art Gallery of Ontario,
which is amazing, and I'll let it speak for itself.
And side note, Canadian currency looks cool, but be careful with it. And if you're staying in the downtown area, consider walking through the path tunnels. Or walking underground through the connected mall area, which can take you to the train station, the CN Tower, and other locations throughout the city. If you're a foodie, Toronto might also be the place for you. I'm not a foodie. Here are two places I tried. They're very similar and really close to each other. Just my style. But if you are a foodie, there are a lot of different events, especially in the summer, as well as a lot of variety along this street here and just in this area in general. Additionally, if you are a foodie, I would highly recommend stopping at the St. Lawrence Market, which is an indoor market that has meats, cheese, souvenirs, crepes, smoothies, pastries, and it's spread across 2 locations. And even if you're not a foodie and you just like markets, this is a good one. I liked Toronto as a city,
but not so much as a tourist location. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I think that just means for me, Toronto is more familiar than different, but I didn't really feel that special thing in Toronto, except for the Path Underground. I love that, and I will talk about that for the rest of my life.
As far as vacations go, I don't think I would highly recommend this. So I'm kind of wondering, have you been to Toronto? What are some things that you saw? What did I miss? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for joining.